When you think of epic fails, what comes to mind? A sprained ankle while playing basketball, or setting your money on fire with fireworks? Well, those are just small potatoes compared to these epic fails by CEOs that cost their companies billions and shook entire industries, from a hostile takeover gone wrong to a simple case of being too greedy. Let's check out the CEOs who took an L. Number 7, Steve Ballmer, former CEO of Microsoft. You know it's bad when even your employees are begging you to stop it, just before the global financial crisis. Ballmer decided to acquire a company called Aquantive for $1.2 billion. Problem was, Aquantive was full of duds, and by 2008, they had lost $500 million. As if that wasn't bad enough, the CEO tried to hide it from investors. When he was finally let go in 2014, he received a severance package worth over $60 million. But hey, at least he had his health. Shortly after leaving Microsoft, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Talk about bad luck. Number 6, Marissa Mayer, former CEO of Yahoo. Mayer was the darling of Silicon Valley when she was hired by Google in 2009. She quickly became one of the highest paid female executives in the country. But her time in the spotlight didn't last long. In 2012, she was forced out of office after failing to turn Yahoo around. But that didn't stop her from getting a massive payout. She walked away with $36.6 million in stock awards and options. On top of that, she got a $23 million severance package. To make matters worse, Yahoo was later hacked, exposing sensitive information of over 3 billion users. And get this, Mayer only disclosed the breach 3 years later. Talk about a major fail. Number 5, Bob Nardelli, former CEO of Chrysler. If there was an award for the worst CEO of all time, Nardelli would be a shoo-in. He joined Chrysler in 2007 with a reputation for turning companies around. But instead of building on Chrysler's strengths, he focused on cutting costs and increasing exports. His decisions led to a $10 billion loss in market capitalization. And when the recession hit, Chrysler filed for bankruptcy. Nardelli's epic fail didn't end there. After being ousted from Chrysler, he went on to serve as CEO of Home Depot, and he did the same thing, focusing on cost-cutting rather than customer service. This led to declining sales and a hostile takeover by his own board of directors. We all have those days where we just want to stay in bed and watch Netflix. But sometimes we need a little nudge to get us started. Number 4, John Thain, former CEO of Merrill Lynch. Thain will go down in history as the CEO who crashed his company and triggered the global financial crisis. He made a series of bad decisions that led to billions of dollars in losses. And when the company teetered on the brink of collapse, he gave himself a massive bonus. Can you believe it? He received a $3 million bonus on top of his $10 million salary. But that was just a small fraction of his total compensation. Since leaving Merrill Lynch, he's been named as a co-conspirator in a fraud lawsuit against Bank of America. Now, that's what you call an epic fail. No 3HP CEO Leo Apotheker. When Apotheker took over HP in 2010, he was tasked with one job: turn the company around. Instead, he focused on acquisitions and partnerships that made no sense. For example, he acquired a company called Autonomy for $11 billion. It turned out to be a major dud, and the CEO was forced out. Before he left, though, he got a nice little parting gift: $57 million in compensation. Yeah, that's right, 57 million. Talk about adding insult to injury. Number 2, Michael Dell, founder and CEO of Dell. Dell took his company private in 2013 for $24.9 billion. At first, it seemed like a great move. The stock price was around $10 per share, which was much higher than its value in 2004. But Dell didn't stop there. He started buying back shares of his company at an average price of $20 per share. So far, he has spent $13 billion on stock buybacks. That's a major fail because Dell is now worth less than $30 billion. Number 1, Reed Hastings, CEO of Netflix. Hastings made a major blunder when he decided to split the DVD and streaming businesses into separate entities. He thought that separating the two would allow each business to grow faster. But it turned out to be a huge mistake. Once the split happened, both businesses suffered and investors were left scratching their heads. But Hastings didn't stop there. He went on to make more blunders, like raising prices in the middle of a pandemic. That's right, he raised prices during the pandemic. No wonder Netflix is losing subscribers. Welcome to my channel. We've seen some pretty wild things in the business world over the past year, from crazy product releases to wild marketing tactics. But sometimes it all comes down to one person, the CEO. Today we're going to look at 3 CEOs who made epic fails that cost their company billions. Number 3. Yahoo CEO Scott Thompson. When Scott Thompson took over Yahoo in 2012, he was tasked with turning the company around after a decade of mediocrity. But his tenure would be even shorter than his predecessors. Just 4 months after taking over, it was revealed that Thompson had lied about having a degree in computer science from Stanford University. While this was a huge scandal, it wasn't entirely his fault. An internal investigation revealed that Yahoo's board of directors had approved the hire despite the lack of a degree. They had also approved the hire despite Thompson's lack of experience in the tech industry. Before Yahoo, Thompson had spent his entire career in finance, most recently as CEO of a financial software company. Despite the lack of qualifications, Thompson was paid $1 million in his first year as CEO. Ultimately, Yahoo would be sold to Verizon for just $4.8 billion, a far cry from its peak valuation of $125 billion. No. 2. Hakon Suda, CEO of Nokia. When Hakon Suda became CEO of Nokia in 2006, the company was at the top of the world. They were the largest mobile phone manufacturer in the world and had just released the Nokia N97, their flagship model. But Soda would soon make a series of decisions that would lead to the downfall of Nokia. In 2011, Nokia partnered with Microsoft to exclusively use their operating system on their phones. This was a huge mistake, as the partnership gave Microsoft control over Nokia's most valuable asset, their mobile phone platform. As a result, Nokia lost its independence and would eventually be acquired by Microsoft for €7.2 billion. Under Sunder's leadership, Nokia had also failed to capitalize on the touchscreen smartphone market. They had actually invented the touchscreen smartphone with the Nokia 9000 communicator in 1996. But by the time the iPhone came out in 2007, Nokia was still selling their outdated candy bar phones. Number 1. Steve Ballmer, CEO of Microsoft. Steve Ballmer became CEO of Microsoft in 2000 after Bill Gates stepped down. At the time, Microsoft was a dominant player in the PC software market. But they were about to face a major challenge: the rise of smartphones. Ballmer was not a fan of smartphones, and he tried everything he could to stop them. He famously called Apple's iPhone a, quote, toy, and he refused to invest in developing a touchscreen operating system. Instead, he bet the company on Windows Mobile, which was a failure. Ballmer was also not a fan of Google, and he tried to destroy their search engine. He launched a series of antitrust lawsuits against Google, and he even tried to buy their way out of search. But nothing he did would work, and Microsoft would eventually be fined $1.1 billion for anti-competitive behavior. So there you have it, 3 CEOs who made epic fails that cost their company billions. What do you think? Did these CEOs make honest mistakes, or were they just plain incompetent? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about business and investing, be sure to check out our other videos. Thanks for watching.